Okay, yes. Good evening. I have no idea how to start these intros, so I'm just gonna do whatever till I feel like it's the right intro. So yeah. Thank you for coming back. Or thank you for just coming on my channel and seeing my videos. Man, come on, get it together. Thank you for coming on here and having me be kind of your helper or your guide, your pick me up, your compadre. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm still working on the intro, so it's gonna be awkward for a bit because I don't know what the fuck I wanna say. So, yeah, but most importantly, thank you. So, anyways, let's get started before I start getting distracted again. So, this message, much like the intro, it's gonna be very complicated. It's gonna be very hard to put into words what I want to say. But I feel like that's also part of the whole message, or kind of the theme of the message. But I'm gonna do my best to try to make it as clear and understanding as possible. So yes. I'm looking at my notes. So you could be going through a phase right now or a period of your life where things were kind of like two opposing forces were kind of grinding against each other, creating a lot of this conflict and tension. And for a long time, you thought, like, oh, well, is my life falling apart? Or, like, this is the end for me. And, it's just not going to go my way, or it's just bad overall. But this kind of energy is coming up not in the way that you think, and not the way that conflict and struggles are always interpreted as. A lot of the pain, sorry, I'm like trying to get a right angle, so I'm like, maybe I should just back this up. Okay, I think that's a little better. So I don't have to keep like ducking down. Anyways, jeez. So a lot of the pain, the anger, the sadness, the conflict that you went with people, that you've had with people in conversations and arguments, certain ideas that you've had, certain personalities that you've had, certain beliefs that you've had throughout your life. So much of that. Okay, think of like a samurai sword, and this is gonna be, this is also gonna be important to remember, or I guess to note. That's part of the message. So, imagine like a samurai sword, but in the beginning it's like a rock. It's like a type of metal, it's a type of stone, and it's very rigid. It doesn't even look like a samurai sword. And so imagine your pain, your anger, your sadness, all of that stuff. Your life is like that, okay? And all these things that have happened in your life, the conflicts, the ending, the struggles, you thought that this was kind of like just an explosion that is just meant to burn things down, and that's that. But you're actually, whether you're starting to notice or you have been noticing that your life is forming this imperfect metal, this imperfect parts of yourself, I want to say, but then I want to re-clarify that as I go on. It's smoothing out all the impurities and creating, and within that, a samurai sword is created, and that sword resembles precision, balance. It resembles the hard work that was put into it. 555 I just saw, which is also an angel number I wrote down today. So I'm saying so a lot. So it's like now you're understanding that these challenges, you know, all the times that you felt left out, all the times that you've wanted to give up, all the times that you have tried to take yourself out, the times that you just you didn't feel like you were part of the group, you didn't feel like you were part of society, you didn't feel like you were even a part of your life. All these challenges, these emotions, these thoughts weren't there to destroy you. They were there to show you your real strength, show you where you really belong, and that you were meant to be different. But here's the thing. I feel like we were all meant to be different. We're individuals, right? But so many people, possibly in your life, maybe family, friends, co-workers, the private school, the private school that you've possibly went to, middle school maybe. You know, I'm just kind of throwing all these things, but you piece it together however which way you need to. Just all these places, or even in your mind, they weren't here to destroy you, but to show you that you were meant to be something more. And through these challenges, through being left out, through being rejected, punished even for things that weren't even your fault, for just even having different ideas from your family, from organizations and all that, this was like pushing you to the right road, to your kind of lifestyle. You weren't meant to live someone else's dreams. You weren't meant to live someone else's fears, someone else's insecurities. You weren't meant to live someone else's life. And possibly so many people, and even your own thoughts, try to break you down and have you conform to these certain ways of thinking, these certain ideas, but it just did not fit with you. So you could possibly, I almost dropped something. So you could possibly be having realizations of things that you've went through in the past, maybe as a child, within the past month, year even. something happened, whether it was multiple things or one thing, but something happened, somewhere in your life that made you feel a certain type of way. It made you question something, and it stuck with you ever since. And it stuck with you, but you never really got the whole picture or the full understanding of why did I feel some certain way about this. And you're finally coming to this whole part of the puzzle, or you're coming to the whole puzzle. You're coming to the whole full circle. You're coming full circle and understanding the polarity of your life. So for a long time, people have probably told you, like, oh, 11/11, I just saw. People have probably kind of, I'm just gonna sum it up, but people have probably gave you a paintbrush and said, this is just a metaphor, analogy, or something, but they probably have said, like, here, this is the paintbrush for everything. This is the way that you should look at things. This is the way you should judge things. This is the way that you should perceive others. This is the way you should even perceive yourself. And they wanted you to just paint your whole life with just this one brush. Oops. Dropping shit. But you weren't meant to just use one brush, and maybe your family, the kind of friends, partners you kept attracting or being attracted to, the places that you kept being drawn to, they all had the kind of just one brush. And you've always wondered, well, why can't we do it this way? Why can't we use this brush? Why should we even use a brush? Why not a hanger? Why not a freaking there's so many different ways that people use, or this energy is like hard. But so many people just have many different creative ways to paint and to bring their imagination to life, bring their creativity to life with so many different tools and methods. So this message is for people who aren't meant to live life with just one paintbrush, with just one way of thinking, with just one certain lifestyle. You were meant to break that mold, but the thing is that people tried confusing the normal for you as something as different and difficult and hatred even, and just wrong. And for a long time it left you confused. It left you like confused about yourself, like oh, I thought I was doing the right thing, or I thought I said the right thing, but I guess not. And it's like, no matter how many times you've tried to basically use their ideas, use their own beliefs on your piece of paper, like use their answers for life for your piece of paper, for your own problems, it didn't really work. It didn't really fit. And some people in your life may have tried to throw their own shit on you, throw their own insecurities on you, throw their own fears on you, thinking that it would go away or it would make them feel better. If you just took on their problems and then switched it up on you, acting like you're the one that has the problem, you're the one that's dramatic, you're the one that doesn't know how to love. But while you're slowly, and this could be the beginning for you, oops, this could be the beginning for you, but either way, whether it's now or eventually, you're slowly, and you are coming out with a true understanding of who you are and having a balance between these opposing forces, understanding that the truth and the lies can look very similar to each other. The good and the bad can look very similar to each other, almost identical. And this reminds me of the scene from Breaking Bad where Walter White, he's talking about the word chiral, and that it's deprived from a Greek word talking about the hand or something. And he was mentioning how that it's these, I don't know, I'm not gonna get all sciencey into this because I don't really care, but but basically it was just about your hands looking identical, but they're opposite forces. So these challenges also came here, or came into your life, into your mind, into your heart, not to break you, not to show you that your parents were right, not to show you that that, let's say, the government or people in society are right when it comes to people like you, you know. It was to show you that the difference between, like I said, truth and lies. And so many times, two people, the way that they act, it can be very identical. And it's very common to paint them with the same brush and be like, oh, well, you know, that person is a narcissist because they're so confident. But that's not true, you know. And this is where this whole time you were understanding and learning, having the gift of discernment by observing both of these kinds of lifestyles that you went through, or really untangling what people tried mirroring to you that seemed very identical to what you were displaying. So let's say, you know, you're very confident, you know, you look good, you know, you're just feeling yourself, and people might have come up to you or treated you as oh, they're a narcissist, they got a freaking attitude problem. And you could have taken their misinterpretation, whether their misinterpretation was intentional or not. You ended up absorbing that and being like, okay, well, I guess, well, I don't want to be a narcissist. I don't want to be treated this way. So I'm gonna tone it down. I'm gonna try to be the opposite. But in reality, those are people's projections. Their own shit that they can't face. That they're the ones actually displaying the fake confidence. But it's actually narcissism. They're full of themselves. And they couldn't handle your true confidence. They couldn't handle your truth, what you've been saying, the artistic creative expressions. And they've tried acting as if they're the ones that really have this power. But they're in that's the thing. This is why it's so important to have the gift of discernment, because many times I've misinterpreted things because I chose to paint it with the same brush, thinking that, oh, well, this person's acting this way, so then they're this, or, well, this person, they're giving out food to the homeless, they're being nice, so they must be a good person. But now you're understanding that it's not the same. They can look very similar. People can display certain characteristics. Life can display very similar things. But there's an inner truth. There's an inner difference. There's a difference between both of them. But so many people stop at face level. So many people stop at what they're given, what they're supposed to take. And they don't listen to that feeling inside of them, or something that tells them, like something's not quite, matching here. So, Kylarity? I don't know how to say it, but this is, I'm putting this more in a psychological and spiritual perspective and aspect, so I feel like this is the best way I can explain what I've been going through and the kind of spiritual shit I've been experiencing and seeing, and what I feel like the collective, which is you, yay, is going through. So, if you want to look more into chiral, chilarity, look it up, So this is also a message to get rid of the people who label treating people with respect and decency and taking accountability as perfect or too much. And this kind of falls into the whole chiral metaphor or concept in a spiritual aspect or in a psychological aspect. This brings me back to a memory that I had, which does relate to one of the things I said. But I remember when I was a kid, I used to live with my grandmother. She had guardianship over me and my twin brother. But she would say things, she would do things that would make me question her intentions and her motives. My grandmother, she was a Christian, and she told me that, to be a good Christian, you believe in this, you have to do all this stuff, you act in this way. But then the way that she treated me and the way that she treated my brother, and especially the way that she treated me, and the times that I've pointed out her hypocrisy and her unfairness, her disrespect, she would say, I'm not perfect. She would say that I'm not Superwoman, and kind of treat me in a way, or make me feel as if like I'm asking for too much or I'm being too much. And there has been points in my life where or things that I've experienced, whether in movies or stuff, where someone is asking for too much, someone is achieving perfection where it's not really possible. I don't know, I'm still kind of like, with the whole perfection thing, I'm starting to believe that perfection is possible, but not in the way that we've always tried to achieve perfection. But I digress. So, for my whole life, I thought that, well, speaking up for myself means that I'm asking for too much. Me pointing out the hypocrisy, not tolerating the disrespect, and wanting to see improved change, and to see accountability within, let's say the relationship I had with my grandmother. I thought that I was asking for too much, and I thought it was kind of wrong of me, because I was kind of treated that way and kind of pushed to have that sort of that mindset. It's because I was a kid, what the fuck did I know? And throughout my life, that led me to not really ask much for people, or even just really lower my standards, lower my self-respect, lower myself so much that I basically become a step stool for people. I become a punching bag for people. And the reason why I bring this up is because that so many times in our lives, we get kind of gaslighted. We get made to believe that this is what we should accept, especially because it's our family. Not saying that every family is like this. There is some really good families. But then that's also another thing, I think as a societal, a nationwide kind of thing, concept or belief that we're made to believe is that families are supposed to be good, families are supposed to be there for you, especially in the Hispanic community, which I'm Hispanic. That's like really strong. Family is family, like family is everything. And I've always been, my whole life I was told to just kind of paint my whole family with that paintbrush. Like, oh yes, they're my family. I'm supposed to love them no matter what. You know, I'm supposed to forgive, forget, let go. But then I started seeing a crack. Like, if I'm respecting them, why aren't they respecting me? I mean, we're family, so why is it not the same? Why are we not on the same level? So a lot of you can so a lot of you might be like really putting the pieces together of seeing of seeing how much people have twisted the version of you, or you. I'm sorry, this is like really hard to explain. So many people try to do the reverse image on you, wanting you to lower your standards, wanting you to take away your creativity, take away who you're meant to be. And settle for what other people got, settle for other people's mindsets, settle for other people's limitations. And, you know, like I said, there's beliefs that we've carried on for so long, thinking like this applies with everyone, this applies with everything, the whole damn same paintbrush for everything, you know? But now you're starting to see that not everything, you know, just because there's a certain theme of, like, let's say love, you're starting to understand that you're you're starting to understand that there's two different sides to it. And so many people have tried, like, putting you on the bad side of it, where you don't get much in return, where you're the one that sacrifices yourself, where you're the one that has to conform while they reap the benefits of you. You know what I mean? By trying to take all your traits, trying to take who you are and use it in their own ways, and in a way that's manipulative, in a way that's very deceiving, and trying to act like, nope, this is me, you know, I'm all good, I'm all rainbows and sunshine, or I know what's best, like I know the right way. So you're coming into this balance, this discernment, and learning to be the in-between of these opposing forces, and learning how to balance this all out. I hope that makes sense. So because of the way that people have treated you, God, the universe, is really coming after them. So some people who may have hurt you, maybe trying to cover up their tracks now of the shit that they have done to you, or, you know, just in general, by doing random acts of kindness, thinking like, okay, well, if I do this, like, you know, if I do this, then God, the universe is gonna spare me from the consequences, the thoughts in my head. But I see, I had a vision earlier of someone being in this interrogation room, And this person who has hurt you, maybe it's multiple people, but I just saw one person. But just this one person who is in this interrogation room, and God is in the room, but God is just seen as a person. This might resonate for some of you, but this could also be like an actual, like, someone's gonna get caught legally and be you know, have be legally punished or lawfully punished. That's just for probably one or two of you. But this is more so in a spiritual sense. The universe is calling judgment. The universe is actually going to be kicking some asses on, or going to be kicking people's asses. So I see God, this person, but it's actually God, just like kind of in the back of the room, or I guess by the door, and they're kind of like leaning against the wall, and they're like just watching this person pace back and forth. And on like the end of the room, so the opposite side of where this person's pacing, is like I saw like a dark portal, like a dark, like another, just a dark portal, I guess. And God is like, come on, you have to go through this. Every shit, pain that you put on the collective, you're gonna go through that now. And this person is trying so hard to avoid it, like, oh, well, you know, like trying to bribe God and doing it in ways that are very sneaky, by silently praying, by silently asking for forgiveness, by silently being nice, by silently acting like they're grateful, but it's like too late now. And God is like, nope, the only way that you're gonna be free from this is if you go through your shit, the shit that you have been avoiding, the shit that you have been trying to put on the collective, the shit that you have been putting on everyone else but yourself. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy. So this is also a message of, don't get mixed up how other people perceive you, how other people choose to see you, how other people say about you. Like, that's none of your business. You are your business. This is your lane. You know, and that never made sense to me. Like, why can't we all share the spotlight? Like, we just have our own individual spotlight in this world. But there's so many people that want to take other people's creativity, mindset, their way of thinking, their smartness, their greatness, their kindness, and people just want to spit on it, dump on it. People want to make fun of it. And it's like, this person isn't doing anything to you. They're doing their own thing. Like, why? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, it does, but it's like, I can't imagine myself going that low because I feel shitty about myself. So now you're understanding your truth, and understanding that other people's, or even society's, perspectives, concepts of you, were that they've tried to paint as truth, and yours as a lie. The way you operated as a lie, the way you spoke as a lie, the way that you've just expressed yourself as a lie. Now you're understanding, like, okay, this is their shit, and this is my shit. I only need to just focus on my shit. So this is about listening to your own voice. And this is also about the people that hurt you, they're definitely gonna get their karma. And this can be in so many different ways. This can be just having more negative thoughts, having experiences that actually show who they are, or the parts of themselves that they need to heal. So they may be feeling more fearful, they may be feeling more indecisive. And you gotta understand, this is the whole part of the theme of understanding chiral clarity in a spiritual way, is that you may be seen as like, oh, well, that's mean, like, no, I'm not wishing harm on them. Or you're not wishing harm on them. It's them getting what they deserve. Like, did you deserve what they put on you when you didn't ask for it, when you were trying to lend out a helping hand, when you were just trying to be a friend, when you were just trying to be a good granddaughter, so many, and that's a weird thing in this world. It's so many people are quick to protect the people that need to take accountability, that need to face the actions of their own consequences. And so many people who try to speak out on that, who try to distance themselves from that, try to create boundaries, they're the ones that get punished. They're the ones that are like, you're the one that needs to bend down, bend over, conform. You're the one that needs to apologize. You're the one that needs to change your attitude. It's like, no. That's them. That's not me. So it's like you're gonna get into, or you're finally in this I don't give a fuck attitude. And it's not in a mean, bitchy way, like where people actually are out here trying to hurt people's feelings and lives. It's where it's like, I know what's right for me. Like, if you try twisting my truth because you can't handle how life can be so much more complex and different, and also like, that's on you. I don't give a fuck kind of energy. So it's like this kind of darkness is coming after them, and it's not going to leave them until they figure out that the only way out is through. It's not by suddenly being suddenly being kind, but actually just doing it because you're scared and you don't want to face the consequences. And it's not by bribing God, it's not by bribing people, it's not by tricking yourself. It's by actually going through all the shit that you refuse to face and learn the damn lesson. So angel numbers that might be significant are 177, 4343 could actually be significant too. 555, 311, 445, 448, 484. Been seeing a lot of fours. Also, this is not an angel number really, but this is a tarot card called the Four of Wands that represents to me, I see it as like community and coming together, having a family, love, union, basically. So the universe is going to be blessing you with events, with people that are going to reflect more of this truth that you've been finding within yourself back to you. And if you're wondering, like, oh, well, there's this person in my life, I don't know how to let God deal with it. This could also be a sign to pray more or to start praying. And praying, there's so many different ways you can pray. you know, you can even just do it by doing art, by just talking. Like, literally, it's just that simple. So yeah, you are being blessed with multiple events, seasons, people in your life that are going to make you feel more loved, that are actually going to show you the true person that you are. I mean, you already know who you are, or you're getting to a really good state, a good grounded state, a well balanced state of who you are, but you're really going to meet people, you're really going to have circumstances really show that to you. You know what I mean? Show the right mirror, not the reverse mirror. 3333, so quadruple threes, and 222. So the songs I've been hearing is Mr. Know-It-All by Kelly Clarkson, Cheerleader by Ashnikko, Possession of a Weapon by Ashnikko, and Ohms by Deftones. And the whole samurai thing that I brought up, it reminded me of or I mostly got that from a show that I've been watching, or I watched again, called Blue-Eyed Samurai. It's on Netflix. It's really good. So if you feel called, there might be little messages within that show for you to experience or for you to hear, to be part of your life in some way. And I was watching the music video for Ohms, and I feel like maybe for some of you, you should watch the music video too. But there was one part of the video that really, it really, what's it called? Come on. It really stuck to me. There. It really stuck to me, and I felt like it had a deeper message. So the part was, when the monk, I mean, he looks like a monk, so I'm gonna assume that he's a monk, some kind of spiritualist. And there's one scene where the camera almost seemed kind of upside down, but then it turned upright, showing like the right side of everything. And he was walking through this street, this apocalyptic kind of area, world, and some of these cars were like abandoned and just floating. And I heard the word like haunted. So I looked up the meaning of that song, and basically, from what I remember, the summary of it is you being haunted by your past, promises that I guess weren't kept, things that you regret, and it's all like coming back to you. Okay, this is why I've been getting it. So all these things that are coming back to you, it's like, okay, I understand it now. Thank you, Spirit. So these experiences that you've been going through, all this shit that you had to go through, that you didn't even have to deal with, that people just threw on you. You're seeing the storm pass you. You're realizing, like, oh shit, like, I feel like something big is coming. I feel like the universe, God, is gonna do something. Or you you just feel like just something is like on you, I guess, or just hovering over you, but you can't really understand or explain why. But you feel something dark. You feel like something is kind of haunted around you. Like maybe like maybe there's a ghost or something, but it's not. It's just karma. It's just karma for the people that have tried to get you in some way. Even if it was just like being snarky or having these just negative comments that weren't even necessary, like just like who does she think she is? Who does he think he is? Or like just all these thoughts, these actions even. The storm is passing you, but it's coming towards the people who have made you their enemy. When all you wanted to do was just be kumbaya with everyone and be friendly and have a loving relationship and just express yourself. And now you're watching some of these people might come back. You might be seeing some of these people in your dreams, or might just be feeling their presence in some way. This is more of a sign of like, if anything, they're haunted by your ghost, haunted by their own actions. So, okay, that makes sense. So this is a time for you to be very graceful and gentle with yourself. You may be feeling some of this kind of battle going on, this kind of spiritual battle. But just know you're fine. You've passed the test. You made it. You've done the work on yourself. You've believed in yourself. You've kept going. You've done right by yourself. And now it's like God closed the door on you. God, but not in the way that it's like, oh, he closed you from the world. No. He closed people. He closed situations out. He closed mindsets out. Or the universe. The universe closed people from your world. And you're just starting to get to know what your world really looks like. Oh shit, that makes sense. Okay. Oh, okay. That's also why I felt like I needed to talk about the Ohms dystopian thing. Because for a long fucking time, now it's getting exciting. It's almost over the video. For a long fucking time, you were the one that was living in a dystopian that other people wanted you to live in, while they bathed in your luxury, while they bathed in you overgiving and you just being their doormat. And so now it's like the roles are being reversed. And you know, for so many of you, you could have gone through all this shit and been like, you know what, I just want to freaking fuck people up. I just want to do the shit that they did to me onto other people. I just want to do the shit that, you know, to myself in some kind of way, whether it's talking negatively about myself, whether it's taking myself out, whether it's hurting other people. But so many of you stayed very strong, and you did not choose to be the people that have hurt you. And for the people who have, you know, did eye for an eye kind of thing, got really petty and stuff, you realize that, you know what, it was wrong for me. This is, you know, it wasn't right, and you've actually learned from your mistakes. You've learned, like, this is not the way that God wants me to be. This is not how I want to be. This is not how I can't be living life like this. And you've actually learned, unlike these people who try to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, you know, I've learned," but they're just talking shit. You're the one that actually went through the darkness. You're the one that actually understood what God, the universe, was trying to show you through these challenges. To have more faith, to be patient, to not be around people like this, to understand the difference between kindness and overgiving, to understand the difference between understand the difference between being petty and speaking up for yourself or standing on truth, you know? So now they're the ones that get to experience the dystopian world that they've always had all along, but they've tried so hard to avoid it and try to put that shit on you, put that shit on so many people, put that shit on everything. I put that shit on everything. That's from somewhere. That's from like some meme or food commercial or something. I can't remember though. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. I know this was kind of all over the place, but I feel like that does resonate with the whole. I feel like that ties in, and that plays a part into the reading that I just did. So I hope it helped you in some way, and yeah, you got this. And I hope you enjoy the all the blessings, all the amazing things that are coming your way. You got this, and yeah, peace.